We are live.
Almost there. Actually, yeah.
Yep. We're almost there.
Almost there.
Last guest.
So good.
Next one will be at the fire. Look at
So
this. I'm
good.
touching the bald head.
Rub it.
Hello.
Rub it.
Wow, it's a little bit scratchy at this point in time. It's like tar paper, sandpaper. What is this? What shirt have I got on?
Well, why do you got a shirt on underneath it?
Well, I didn't want to go with the skin. There was too much skin last time. There's a lot of skin. But go ahead. Who's our guest?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dr.
Okay,
Rob.
So
what's going on? What's going on, whiskey community? This is crazy.
Let's lead this up though a little bit.
Yeah.
Those watching, did we hit on it last night when we were live last night? What happened was we were no, it's this morning.
Yeah.
This morning we were talking about it. About a month and a half ago, we were planning the 12 hours of Boom. What guest do we want
we're
on?
At Bucks.
And we were at Bucks, Starbucks.
Whatever. Everybody knows it is Bucks.
We said, let's have a doctor on and talk about the effects of alcohol.
Well, you were like, what do you think about it? I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
Yeah. Right at the end, right? We've just been through. And then
karma,
what happens?
Karma or coincidence or happenstance. Kismet. I get home from work that night, and in our YouTube comments is Dr. Rob has contacted us. He's a fan. He's a watcher. And he just posted on his podcast channel,
Whiskey Lover,
talk about the effects of alcohol.
Bam. You called, you were like, this is crazy. I'm like, that's done deal right there, as long as he agrees.
So we got a hold of Dr. Rob Horovitz,
yes.
and that's why we are here. Go ahead, introduce yourself, let everybody know where you're at, and then let's talk some whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a pleasure to be here. It's crazy, just seeing the names. I follow so many of you guys. I've seen so many of the the channels. You're right. I am a fan. I really am a fan. I just, I've been following some of the whiskey channels, I think probably for about 2, maybe 3 years ish.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a colleague, because whiskey, especially Scotch, it's always been this very pretentious kind of category. And I had this colleague who just such a show off talking about Scotch, trying to impress people. And I just knew he was full of it. I just knew it, but I knew nothing about it in the sense, like, I know nothing about wine. I walk into a liquor store, I see the wine category, just blows my mind. I know nothing about it. And so I decided to start watching some Scotch videos. You guys and maybe 2 others really in the beginning. And it just blew my mind how easy it was to connect with the community and how you guys really you did make it easy. You made it easy and accessible to the people who genuinely just loved whiskey for a long time, but then also accessible to those who were brand new to it, which I thought was super cool. And that was my entry, really. It's in a large way because of you that I'm here and I'm enjoying it. And I'm excited to be contributing in some way to this.
No, big time.
Yeah, I'm a naturopathic doctor. It's been a lifetime dream of mine to be a doctor in some way. I didn't know about naturopathic medicine in the beginning. I don't know if the viewers know about naturopathic medicine or what that's about. But any questions whatsoever, I'm very approachable, very reachable. Anybody can reach out. If they have questions here, I'll try my best to answer it also. Cool. But I know we're here to talk about a most important substance here, some of the juice. So,
but explain that naturopathic doctor. I mean, just real quick, go ahead and let us, what is that?
Yeah, so essentially it's very similar to when you see your medical doctor. You education-wise, you go and you get a degree just like you would there, and then you go on to 4 years of naturopathic medical school where it's very similar in terms of the training, the doctory type stuff, anatomy, diagnosis, lab report, all the different physical exam, how to be a doctor really, but the treatment is completely different. So where they focus on a lot of pharmaceutical drugs, surgery, we focus more on, prevention for sure, but what we use is more heavily focused on nutrition, herbs. That's actually what got me interested in whiskey, is really like the fermentation, the herbal aspect of it initially. I just thought it's so fascinating. There's so many amazing things about Scotch, I think, that really resonated with that part of me. But in terms of treating disease, we use herbs, nutrition, acupuncture, way more of a preventative approach or lifestyle approach. And that's what I do. I used to practice. Now I don't. I'm heavily involved within the natural health industry. I travel around Ontario here in Canada to health food stores all over. And I educate health food store staff on what I consider to be premium. So you walk in a health food store, there's a million products. there's just so much noise. You don't, you think everybody's selling you snake oil. How do you cut through that noise? I think I'm contributing to that in some way, at least in some small way. Passionate about it. And yeah, that's what I love doing.
Awesome.
Yeah, Travis, the Allardyce. Yes, this is like, you're going to see how empty this bottle is. It's like a travesty. I'm just like hanging on to this for dear life.
Yeah.
And we got the little peat. Somebody in your last video, by the way, was chatting about peat, how I couldn't figure out whether it ruined his palate. Which one do you try first? The peat, the smoke? Or
one at last.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Because it will dominate. It'll dominate. Right. It'll leave its mark.
It's just like, oh man, it's just,
a while back, Bart and I got our bottle just for this to close out the 12 hours of boom. So let's open this up and let everybody see what we got. Some people may recognize it by the case. This won some San Francisco awards or something. But it's the Tomaten 36 year.
Wow.
Now, it had not, I just opened it on break and poured. So these have been getting a little bit of air, and it's got a great nose on it.
Nice.
So this is an annual release that Tomaten does. I'm not sure how many bottles come out each year with it. 46% ABV. And of course, with Tomaten, there's some bourbon cask and some sherry finishing.
Tom R is in. We're going to have some cowbell.
Cowbell.
Dr. Rob, do you think it would be possible to use bricks of marijuana, probably malt barley like peat? So malt.
Absolutely.
Use bricks of marijuana to malt barley.
Got it. If so, I'm sorry, I got all thrown there.
In Canada now, they can do that.
Sure. If so, do you think any of the chemicals would transfer? Would it be just a smoke, or would the THC transfer? Is that what he's?
THC, I'm not sure because it's
probably burned up.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. It'd be interesting to see what comes out in the distillate. I hope some of the good stuff does anyway. I mean, there's so many different compounds.
Well, no, because
I don't know how heavy it is.
You can still get high on secondary marijuana smoke. So there is.
Yeah, so that's why, I mean, even though you're combusting it, it still ends up in the air. So would it actually pass through the stills? It might.
Yeah.
Seems like it probably would.
Okay.
Well, I don't think
there's so much good stuff in there.
I think it would just smell. It would smell. That's all.
It smelled really good. I think it would smell really good.
I don't think any of the THC would get through the still, but I think you get the odor. Maybe.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so thankfully,
look at that shirt.
Tonight's poison.
Cowbell. I need more of it.
More cowbell.
That's it.
Chat from tonight's poison. Good stuff. Cheers. Let's start. Thankfully, our doctor to inform us on good decisions with whiskey. So good thing we've been drinking for 10 hours.
Right. But our approach, I think, was reasonable.
Yeah.
What was our approach as we came out?
An ounce or less an hour.
Right. Did we follow that perfectly?
Mostly. I
got a little crazy with the cocktails.
Give or take.
Right. But not too bad. How are you feeling?
Good.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I feel pretty good. If anything, my voice is actually
my butt's a little sore.
Yeah, the butt from sitting, and then the back a little bit. So that's an interesting.
Hey Rob, are you watching?
I am. Yeah. Just I feel like when I'm typing, everybody can see my fingers, and it's distracting. So it's like maybe I should refrain. But yeah, I see Whiskey Throttle.
If you make one comment, then the chat knows you're in there, and people can at least highlight a question to you.
Oh, sounds good. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, the Bart shirt tells a different story as far as how you.
Well, it's part of the joy. No, it's part of the joy.
I think it needs it though. Joy. Part of that shirt is the shock factor of the
skin
of the side boob.
the side boob. I don't know if there was ever side boob. It was more like
it scared some people.
Yeah, but it was. There's no way you get side boob in there with the shirt. It was more of chest hair, back hair. It's got a neck meant for a bear.
So, but thankful anyway. So Dr. Rob drinks. We're gonna talk some of the effects of alcohol, ways to drink.
And is our approach reasonable?
But he's drinking with us.
Right.
So it's so funny because a lot of these whiskey reviewers are on Instagram. I always kind of wonder this, and I just think, no, it can't be, but maybe it is. Every day they're posting a different bottle, and it's sort of like the dram of the day. And I'm just thinking, they can't be like, for me, I mean, I have like a few bottles, maybe 6 or 7 bottles. They're all open, and every once in a while I'll dabble in them. But I mean, are they getting a new bottle every week? Or every, maybe. I mean, good for them. I don't know. Is that what's going on here? Because that's crazy.
So you poured the Allardyce right now, right? The 18 year.
Yeah. This is so for for me anyway. I mean, I haven't tried anything as old. Actually, I haven't tried anything older than 18 ever. But for me, this is just my favorite Scotch that I've tried. I've tried Macallan 18. I've tried a few others. Amazing. But for me, it just has everything. I don't know. It's just so good. And we can't get it here. We can't get it in Ontario.
Oh, really?
It's just, no. So
Gibbs.
Lana was asking why she has to go to 50 minutes after. Honestly, I'm not sure because I never really looked at alcohol as being a diuretic, but it might have diuretic properties. I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, I agree that it's better than. It's at least as good as Mac 18, if not better, for sure. I actually, what started this whole thing for me, but really honestly, what started the whole thing for me was Harvey Specter on Suits. That's it. I'll have Macallan 18, please. And I looked at the LCBO here, couldn't find it. I was in Manhattan. It was $300 US, so like real money, a bottle. And it was just crazy. I tried it there. I spent $40 US, which is crazy Canadian for a dram, I think, at least for a guy who it doesn't really have much experience. But I thought I better try it. It was amazing. But once the novelty wore off, I was in search of something similar. And I just think this was just incredible. And there's others too. Actually, I thought the 15 was phenomenal too. But the 21 years. Yeah. So that's an attractive thing Peter White's mentioning about the aging factor. I know Rob Whiskey in the Six, he was talking about that as well, like the chart, the Glendronach chart. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm like reading the comments and I'm not used to but this is great. This is really cool.
Sure.
But no, that 18-year-old Allardyce has some older whiskey in it. But the next step up when you want to try, to me, better, the 21-year Parliament from Glendronach.
So that's on my list before my birthday this year. That's my goal gift to myself. If I can find it, I can't find it here. If I can find it, that's like the one bottle that I want to try and get.
Yeah, both phenomenal to me. The 20 and some people go the other way, but to me, the 21 edges the 18 out. There's a lot of people that like the 18 over the 21.
Yeah, probably because it's cheaper. No. I know there's like that sweet component that some people say maybe it's just too sweet. I think I'm gonna love it. I really do. Yeah.
Build the library.
Absolutely, I want to build the library. I have an interesting one. I have is I'm probably not pronouncing it right. It's Craiglachy. Craiglachy, maybe 13. So 13-year-old. I thought it was kind of interesting.
So what? Give us what's the bad side of alcohol?
Okay, the bad side is pretty much what everybody already knows, I think, which is just that it's a poison. But I mean, very rarely are we having just alcohol. Like when you're taught about alcohol in science, it's always ethyl alcohol, which like this isn't. I mean, it has ethyl alcohol in it, but it's not ethyl alcohol. I mean, even when you were talking about the marijuana bricks and kind of like, what actually would pass through the stills, there's way more that passes through that still besides ethyl alcohol. So ethyl alcohol is a poison. To my knowledge, I don't think there's anything good about ethyl alcohol. Maybe, I mean, what comes to mind, and I've never actually read this, I think this is just what people think, the blood thinning effects, that's what always kind of comes to mind with most people. oh, it thins the blood, so therefore, alcohol is actually good for you. I've never read that. I think people just think that. What I find really fascinating with alcohol is, especially in smaller dosage, which is probably a conversation for a different group, but yeah. But really, like the way I even see you guys do reviews, it's, you're not just pounding back alcohol, especially the good quality stuff. You're sipping it over a long period of time, which even by itself, I think has some cool benefits. You're taking time. Your time is so precious. Your time is almost slowing down, right? We're becoming mindful. Like that in and of itself, I think is pretty cool. I think like anything else, you can abuse it. So there's the addiction component, craving alcohol. Actually, in school, we were taught when the professor was talking, and it was funny because it was full of characters. These are like naturopathic students. It's not like, it's not a conservative group. It's probably like these peeps here. So we were taught by the professor that if you crave alcohol, if you come home after a day of work and you crave it, that's one of like the tell signs that you're an alcoholic. And like it caused an uproar. Like students were sort of, like, what? Like, what do you mean? It was like this thing. And so, but certainly, I mean, you can abuse it. It has that addictive component. And then the alcohol itself, ethyl alcohol, it just rips apart your cell membrane, like you're at the cellular structure. So it's a poison that way. It can cause mutations. Cancer risk comes to mind. So like all those studies on red wine that you hear about heart health, that's great. It's always like, oh, but the French are eating tons of fat and drinking wine. But like that, they haven't actually read the studies. Like the studies are all manipulated. And even though there might be some benefit, we don't know that it's the wine. And plus, we do know that it dramatically increases cancer risk, breast cancer, uterine cancer. So like there's like this other side when you're talking about the bad. But you can abuse it. So
everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hearing me.
Yeah. Nervous.
He ran out the door.
Yeah, he was like, "What?"
Yeah, I love that. If it wasn't for alcohol, several of us wouldn't be walking the earth tonight. Yeah, like, I mean, definitely, fasting, whiskey throttle. We got to talk about fasting. That's like one of my favorite subjects. It's incredible. I think fasting. Look up the 3 to 5 day fasting, not the intermittent stuff. I mean, it has benefit, but the longer fasting for me is more interesting. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the bad for alcohol. It's like nothing new. I just think it's it's just, that's the poisonous side of alcohol, and you want to be careful. You really do. I mean, I think especially, so for me personally, I have a lot of cancer risk in my family, so I have to be careful. I'm not lucky that way. I get heartburn every once in a while. So if I eat the wrong foods, especially like breads, pastas, I don't even think it's the gluten thing. It's just certain foods. If I eat chocolate late at night, I'm a coffee, like I love coffee. If I have it later on in the day, I get heartburn. So if you get heartburn, if you have that hoarseness, if you have cancer risk in the family, you got to be careful of alcohol because it can damage your esophagus. Like that's kind of like the negative stuff that I would think would come to mind.
So bringing it back around, positive.
Yeah. Yeah, now we can get to all this positive stuff. So hopefully that,
you're good. You're good.
Anger the crowd, too much. But
no.
Yeah, keto. We got the keto. Actually, I just put up a video on the keto. Daniel, it might be easier just to talk about the comments. I can't type as fast, but Daniel was asking about the keto diet. I just put up a video on keto, things to really watch out for. But I can talk about that as well. I think sort of like the good things about alcohol. And again, it has to be about moderation. It just is. You can abuse it. So if you're getting drunk every night, I mean, just forget it. Like you'll get whatever, you're going down that path. What fascinated me about Scotch in particular, and this probably goes to wine, bourbon, was that herbal extraction standpoint of it. It's like the most fascinating thing and the taste. Like when you guys are doing reviews, what comes to mind for me is coffee. Always does. Coffee is like that other substance where it just can taste like a million other things. And my palate isn't nearly as refined as yours. I went into a coffee roastery in this area called Guelph, and the guy did a pour over, and he hands it to me. And like, as I'm tasting it, he's commenting like during like a sports match. He's like, okay, now you're tasting like peach cobbler. And it's like, he's like talking. And I'm just thinking, I don't know if it's just in my head or if he really knows what he's talking about, but man, I was tasting peach cobbler. It was like the most delicious thing. And I find with Scotch, it's just like that. So like this Allardyce, I never realized before, but after watching a lot of the reviews on it, because I was obsessed with this bottle. I really was. I was obsessed with even just the journey of getting it. I thought that was super fun because we can't get it here. But yeah, the dark fruit, that chocolate, the chocolate orange, like all these things that you can get out of alcohol. That's not just alcohol. That's not just a poison. That's something infinitely more. And then the extraction side. So I'm not sure if you guys did a video. I know for sure Rob did. He did a video on these age your own Scotch. What's the naturopath coffee sub? What do you mean by sub? Whiskey throttle sub? Like, oh, coffee substitute. Dandelion root tea is a good coffee substitute. Really, really good. Dandelion root tea. Yeah, it's great for your liver too.
Lana says, quote, yeah. Fast, LMAO.
Sorry, what was that?
Lana, Bart fast. I don't generally fast. We got a buddy at work who started, I know his is the intermittent fasting. He's lost like 62 pounds.
Yeah. Intermittent fasting is super interesting. It really is. But, you know, a lot of us haven't been doing it for a long time. If you guys want to get into it, you just let me know. I'm like down for keto, intermittent, like we can talk about everything. Keto diet, like keto diet can be really good, but it's also called the Atkins diet. It's nothing new. And you just got to be careful. There's certain things you really, really, really want to be careful. Keto people are like out of their mind crazy. A lot of them. I just can't comment fast enough, but yeah, we could chat about it. But Rob did this video, Whiskey in the Six. I just saw him comment before. My man, fellow Canuck over here. He did this video on aging your own whiskey, so in these little barrels. And one of the things that he was talking, I don't know if have you guys done a video on that? Have you ever aged your own?
No, we haven't aged our own. We've had a few guests that have done so.
So that really got me thinking. That was like the video that like really started the wheels turning, believe it or not, because he was talking about, so it never occurred to me, like, why are we aging this stuff? Like, why are we putting it in casks? Like, it never even crossed my mind whatsoever. Like the difference between, let's say, like a vodka and a bourbon or scotch or rum, and aging your own in those small barrels, how much faster you could age the liquid. Right. And then you take like rum or bourbon or like Kavalan. They're from Taiwan. No, where's Kavalan from?
Yep,
yeah, Taiwan.
Yep.
Yeah. So because of the heat, it ages so much faster. And so when I thought about that, the surface area and everything else, I thought, oh, okay. So what Scotch is, like Scotch is not just Scotch. Like what we've been thinking about is just like, oh, this beverage that you could just sip up, this pretentious little, like, I'm going to have a dram of Scotch. It's like, it's actually like, it's a botanical tincture. Really. And because the barrels are so damn huge, it just takes forever to make the tincture. I don't know if any of you guys know what a tincture is. Coach Abel, I don't know who Coach Abel is, but I follow a ton of the bodybuilder crowd. A lot of those guys to Whiskey Throttle. Do you guys know what like a tincture is? Is that something like, am I just...
Oh, it's just like, I know it's a medicinal, ointment. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Kombucha and other fermented foods, yogurt got off those bad proton pointers. Yeah. Also, apple cider is a great one. By the way, I should probably preface in saying like nothing I say here can possibly be medical advice. This is just like a bunch of compadres sitting around like having a dram. Like
I do want to throw out Eric Wade, also known as the Sniper, also threw in. This is his quote. Eric, quote, I fast just before doing Kegel exercises.
Yes. That's what you want to do,
That's the sniper, baby. One shot, one kill.
Wood, tea, and sex. Yeah. See, there you go. Right there. Yeah. So herbal tinctures, essentially, like, just for those who don't know, because it seems actually like, Richie Z, I've seen him, like, a ton of comments on the Whiskey and Six page, everything. Yeah, my man. He's always cheersing everybody. Super positive dude. This is crazy seeing everybody from this perspective. It's nuts. It's sort of like being in outer space and then seeing Earth for the first time. Like that's what
you can't look at every comment though.
Right.
You just
you gotta let them fly. Let them fly.
Let them go.
You're gonna miss them.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Daniel, cheers. But like for tinctures, basically what it is you take a herb, like any herb, chamomile, dandelion root. So whoever was asking about the like what's good for as a coffee substitute, actually I did this in school. Dandelion is like one of my favorite herbs ever because it grows in the ground. It's an amazing medicinal herb that grows everywhere here. I don't know about over there. It grows like crazy over here in Ontario. It's like a weed, right? Like everybody hates this herb. They want nothing to do with it, but it's like one of the most medicinal herbs on the planet. Like it's just an incredible herb. And the roots are very, very good for liver and bile function, like extremely, extremely good for the liver. So what I did is I ordered a bunch of organic dandelion root, dried up, and I decided to make a tincture, which essentially is dunking herbs in a certain ratio of alcohol over a specific amount of time. And it's different for every herbs, but a lot of them, surprisingly, like a lot of the common herbs, it's just 40% alcohol. Like that's what's required, which you could find at a lot of liquor stores. Like, especially as a student, I didn't have a license to go and get like grain alcohol, which is really what you should use when you make professional tinctures. But 40% alcohol, like you can get everywhere, right? Like you could use vodka, you could use rum, you could use, like, it's so prevalent. And then the ratio is usually like a 1-to-4, but like it takes a lot of expertise. So what I did is I took this dandelion root, I put it in a 40% ABV rum. It's called Screech rum. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. It's like some high octane, like rough kind of like rum. And mixed it with dandelion root and set it down for maybe, I think 4 or 5 weeks. And it extracts all of those components from the herb. And you take that medicinally, like you'll have like in a dropper bottle and you like take it by the drop. And what's interesting and what the reason why I'm telling this like long-winded story is because when I think of the cask, white oak, like you guys always talk about American white oak. And I know there's different ones from Spain. Like I'm not as versed as you guys are on that. Like you guys, but that white oak, sorry, you guys.
The different woods in the casks.
That's not us.
Yeah,
we're more about the juice in the bottle. But you're right. There's experts.
Yeah. Like Nicholas, for example, the McAllen rep, he probably is like really well versed in like the different woods and so forth. But like white oak, you could buy white oak tincture, and it's medicinal. And I was reading it a little bit, and like the research, like the page that I use is not professional at all. So don't judge me. It's like I just Googled it, which you're not supposed to do. It's like what Nick, you know, Dr. Nick on The Simpsons, Hollywood upstairs medical school, you know, like he would do something like that. But basically, white oak tincture is like great for liver function, which is like so weird because like alcohol is a poison. It's horrible for your liver, but yet you're putting it into a cask. You're aging it for like 18 years. You're getting all those compounds in. So, I mean, are you getting some of that benefit if you drink it in a moderate kind of way, if you don't get plastered every night? I mean, I don't know. I don't have the answer, but that was super interesting to me. So like talking about the benefits, I think it really is about the cask. And there's a whole bunch of other amazing functions. It's actually, it's a astringent. So like for diarrhea, bloody, like it gets very violent in the descriptions that it can help with a lot of these things. And as an antiseptic, white oak tincture has been used as an antiseptic for a long time. Well, alcohol itself is an antiseptic. I know for myself, I would always get sick. You guys, I can't see you guys anymore. I don't know if you can still hear me or not.
We still got you. Yeah, we still got you.
Cool. Awesome. But like, I know I always get sick at least twice a year, especially in the winter here. I always get a cold or flu. Since I've been drinking Scotch, I'm not saying it's because of the Scotch, but since I've been drinking Scotch very moderately, like this is what I'll have, this kind of dram, maybe over like a 45-minute period, probably. And then like, that's it, you know, every once in a while, like that's probably, I mean, I'm a small guy, so I weigh maybe 130. Like, you know, I don't have a high tolerance for it, but everybody's different. I haven't been sick like that in a long time. So I think in terms of like benefits and moderation, I mean, it's possible. Wormwood, I'm actually not that familiar with wormwood whiskey throttle. I learned about it. People use it all the time, but I actually have to brush up on that. I'm really not too sure.
In that absinthe, they use wormwood.
Whiskey. Yeah, absolutely. So the absinthe thing, I'm super interested in the absinthe connection. I know nothing about it though.
We got whiskey. Rob, $6.99 Canadian.
So you're saying,
oh man, oak and alcohol equals liver neutral. I would say unofficially, Rob, you're like in the money. In the money, buddy.
Let's touch on, we're hitting, so you're on the Allardyce still?
Yeah. Still.
We popped open the Tomatin 36, which the reason we picked this up, well, one was to close out the 12 hours of boom, but it's also the cheapest 36-year-old we had seen. Most affordable. Right.
Because it's not cheap.
Now, when we bought this, it was $560. Most expensive bottle we've bought.
Right.
Oldest bottle we've bought.
Again, thank you to our Patreon subscribers. We bought it using funds from our Patreon account in order to produce the show.
You know, since though I looked online, these are going for $900 plus.
Holy moly.
So getting it right out of the chute helped. But now, okay, so let's talk about it. I think it's pretty good. It's very rich. The age is there. The sherry is coming off a little bit lighter than what I had expected.
I got a lot more oak, which I did expect. I actually enjoyed it more before the water. The water seemed to bitter it up a little bit for me. But describe your tasting notes. Water on the nose.
Water didn't hurt mine at all. There might be a little bit of a bitter nut in there, but it's a good bitter nut.
I'm not as I'm not as big a fan of the bitter nuts.
Shakes Pennington's having to walk it out and stretch it out over there.
He's stretching it out.
You guys got your microphone on? You guys got to pour the Tomatin 36. What are you guys thinking?
I'm going to say that this is better than Kissing Mama Freckles.
I don't know if we got is that coming across? Can you guys hear?
That's better than Kissing Mama's Freckles?
Play and find and kiss Mama's Freckles.
Oh, find them and kiss them.
Goodness. You got to define mama for you means your wife.
No. Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Well,
making sure. For
folks, me it is.
Right. I'm making sure people know your lingo.
Grab your partner, find their freckles, and kiss every one of them. That's fun. It's a fun game. But this is better than that.
Yeah. Shakes, did you drink yours down?
No, I still got
got some? What do you think?
Almost. I love it. It's great. I've never had a $500 bottle of anything before. So.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, it's like 1,300 Canadian last time I checked here in Canada.
Yeah.
Lots of wood tannin running through as I expected.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. 36 years is going to do that.
It will. I expected. All right.
Rob, are you moving on? Are you going to move on to
try a little bit of that peated.
What did you have?
The Lagavulin. Yeah. I'm gonna try the Lagavulin for sure. Well, I mean, I've tried it before. I love it. It's a phenomenal whiskey, I think. You guys had a great review on the Lagavulin 12.
Ooh, yeah, actually. The 2016 limited.
2017.
2017. Well, the 16 was good too. The 2017 limited edition though was phenomenal.
Never tried the 12. Actually, I want to get it secretly from my brother for December. I can't even find it. He said it's the best whiskey he's ever tried, and Lagavulin 12. And it's surprising that people would like the 12 better than the 16. That's something I don't really understand. But
look for the year that's on there though. They'll do a limited release each year. So the 2017 was really, really good.
Yeah, and there'll be some variances between them, but the 17 was good. Now, look, Roy already won one coin. He's wanting to try to win another. He's wanting to know if we're doing a giveaway.
We will be doing a giveaway.
Let's knock it out.
So, first, Rob, do you have like a little trivia question you could put out? And then we're going to watch the comments and see who comes up with the answer. Do you have something? I know we're putting you on the spot.
Oh, for whiskey, you mean?
Well, yeah. It could be
anything you've talked about or covered.
Yeah, something you've even maybe talked about. That.
Oh, I see, like a pop quiz kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, don't fact check me on this. This would be like purely based on what we discussed here.
Sure.
But name one benefit of taking an oak tincture. What is the benefit of oak, health-wise? What would you use it for?
I've got it. I can't play, though. We're watching these comments. Come on.
And that's for coin 337?
337. I will write it down when it comes in. Boom. UMC.
Huh?
It says liver. Oh, wait. Yeah, JC said liver. Hold on. They're popping in now. First. Yeah, I think JC had it first. We're checking to go back right now. What coin number? 337.
Man, people are like astringent. These like your community knows. Like these are like knowledgeable.
Very. They're
seriously, like these are like.
Yeah, we are the dummies. That was a perfect name. It was.
Oh man, if you guys are the dummies, I don't even want to know how brilliant these people are.
Oh,
yeah, that's crazy.
Part of our whole show is the journey from where we began to the road that we're on. So, who was it? JC.
JC
the first.
Provides a home for squirrels. That's hilarious. These guys are so funny. Oh my God.
All right. Now the other one, we're going to do a Siri draw, and it's going to be for 335.
Hey Siri, generate a random number between 1 and 105.
Nice. You remembered the add-on.
Random number between 1 and 105 is 63.
63.
Yes, I think that one was pulled earlier.
Really? Could have a double winner. Hold on.
Yep. Blissful Mr. D.
Blissful Mr. D.
Do we want to draw again, or does he get 2?
I think he gets 2.
Okay.
Which one did he win before?
That was one of the first ones.
Really?
Right there.
Wow, the very first pull. Very cool. Well, he's going to win 2.
I think we're ready for a tune. Are you guys ready for a tune over there?
I think we're ready for a tune. You guys warmed up over there with your old whiskey?
Knocked the cobwebs out, so we're ready for the campfire.
All right, hold on. We're going to kick over to their screen. Let's lock them in.
Oh, nice. We got a light band. That's great.
Well, I've been working real hard and I'm trying to find a job, and it just keeps getting tougher every day. But I gotta do my part, 'cause I know in my heart I gotta please my sweet baby. Yeah. Well, I ain't superstitious, I don't get suspicious. That woman is a friend of mine. And you know that it's true that all the things that I do will come back to me in my sweet time. And keep on rocking me, baby. 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 I went from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, LA, and Northern California, where the girls are warm, so I could be with my sweet baby. Yeah. And keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby, baby, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby. I said, now don't get suspicious, girl, don't be suspicious. You know you are a friend of mine. And you know that it's true that all the things that I do, they're gonna come back to you in your sweet time. I went from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, LA, and Northern California, where the girls are warm, so I could hear my sweet baby say, yeah, keep on rocking me, baby. Bruno, keep on
rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby.
Keep on rocking me, baby, baby, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby.
There you go.
Keep on rocking me, baby. Perfect.
So good.
Bart disappeared.
He is outside starting a fire.
Yep. Bart went out to get the fire started. The dog can sense him in the backyard. Dr. Rob, thank you for joining us. Oh, we still got a couple minutes left yet.
Perfect.
Did you pour the log?
I sure did. In fact, I didn't want the whole whiskey community judging me because I didn't clean up the glass, so I poured a little bit, cleaned out the glass with some Lagavulin, and then poured a real dram. No, it's great stuff. I love Lagavulin. I'm relatively new to peat. I've tried the Lefroy quarter cask, but then the Ardbeg is another one I've never tried. Octomore, I know Rob's done some videos of Octomore. They have this insane looking bottles, but I hear it's like really in your face peat, so I'm always kind of on the fence, but I would like to try an Octomore at some point.
Yeah, they're pretty high. Really, the Lefroy quarter cask that you had, if you're newer to peat or getting into peat, that one's kind of jump in with both feet as well. Now, are you just drinking, is it the Lagavulin 16 that you have there?
Yeah, it was actually a gift from my brother.
Yeah.
My brother's for my birthday. Just an incredible dram, especially in the winter. Like, I just find this dram by the fireplace on a super cold night, I just think is just amazing. I love it.
Yep.
Beautiful.
A campfire kind of. It reminds you of sort of camp.
The chupacabra wants to go outside because the fire has been started.
Yeah, absolutely.
She'll probably stay with it.
The Tomatin 36 is definitely opening up and getting better.
Beautiful.
Even. Of course, it's been.
Yeah, that 36 looks incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So once you get to those really old Scotch, so that 36, do you taste like leather? What is it about these super old Scotches that are really?
Hold on. She sees Penny.
Generally, the older ones, what I have noticed is the palate, the mouthfeel that you get off of them is so rich, and it hangs in there and it stays 30 minutes after you had it.
Oh, wow.
I think it's some of the oak tannins that, just from sitting in there for so long, just saturate the mouth. And it's such a thicker oil is where it's at. Which actually, I will tell you, this does not feel like a 36-year-old. It feels younger. It feels like a 25-year-old, I think.
Okay.
Interesting.
It's always good when something 36 feels like a 25.
Yeah.
I can't disagree with that.
It's definitely good, though. It's getting better, especially as it sat here and opened up. And it's been open now or been in the glass for about 50 minutes.
Yeah. Very good. Very, very good. Cool. All right.
Let's.
By the way, anything I can help with, anything I can answer. Obviously whiskey stuff is your domain, but anything health-wise about whiskey, anything health-wise at all, somebody is wondering for themselves, their friends, their family, if anybody has a question, I'd be happy to answer. Of course, if you don't want to post it in front of everything, just reach out to me anytime.
Put that information out right now if you want, how they can, different ways to find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Robert at lifelongwell.ca. So lifelong wellness. Robert at, maybe I'll write it down in the comment section.
Yeah, throw it in there.
And then they can DM me on Instagram at Robert Horovitz. Anything, any questions. I'm on Facebook. I can't remember I think it's like Dr. ND Rob. So DRND Rob. It's horrible, right? I think. But that's what it is. It's Dr. ND Rob. On Facebook, but anything, any questions, anytime anybody wants. I can't give medical advice, but you have me in your corner. I'll try my best to steer you in the right direction, to give you the right information. If I don't know, I'll tell you. And it's just, I just think it's confusing for a lot of people, and people are afraid or intimidated or just don't want to bother and wait an hour and a half in a waiting room just to ask their doctor a question. If I can help, I will.
Beautiful. All right.
Well, hey, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
My pleasure. Amazing job, you guys, on the 12 hours here. Just incredible. And
we're just at
congratulations on everything you built.
We're at 11. We haven't
One
made it
more.
12 yet.
Yeah, we're going to
right. One more.
Next one, though.
With a
Awesome.
Zima.
I'm going to stick around.
Yeah,
for
with
that.
some Zima coming in. A little bit of spritzer. You ready?
Yep. Let's go.
All right.
Awesome.
Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Sláinte, dummies.
Absolutely, you guys. Cheers and congratulations and everything. And